That's true. When you started Hollywood Unlocked, like who were your idols? Like, did you look up or like your mentors? Like, did you look up to certain people in the business that came before you that did this sort of thing or like in a different format?
Yeah, I mean, I look at Wendy Williams. She's somebody that's had a lot of success. Radio was never an idea for me in my career. Radio just kind of happened. They kind of approached me after an interview and said, "Hey, would you do a radio show?" But Wendy, Charlemagne the God. I mean, very fearless, say whatever they thought, what they want. And like I said on the breakfast, they became famous for just in what they thought and what they felt. Like their opinions, their point of views is what made them famous. And I was never seeking fame, but I did want to have impact and I wanted to have influence. And so I looked at them as a compass. I look at Howard Stern. I look at Ryan Seacrest. Now that I'm getting into producing content, developing shows and stuff, I look at Ryan as a template. So yeah.
Was that like a conscious decision for you because you have said before, like, I mean, you do insert yourself in it, like you served up the tea, you stir up the tea. Like, was that like a conscious decision of like, I can either go one way or another? I could either just remain neutral and here are the facts or
to be neutral, but the industry didn't welcome me when I did that. Nobody really gave me the chance. And so then I got kind of frustrated and just started saying what I thought. And it was like my frustrated thoughts just were my opinions. And people started going, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that."
Right.
He did, but he said that. So once I started seeing what was sticking, I started more. Before you knew it, I was saying some of the craziest shit. And I was getting calls like, "Hey, you can't say that." And I'm like, "Yes, I can. I'm not going to get fired. I own my own shit." So the spilling of the tea thing, but I am transitioning I'm still going to be, serving it up and doing what I do. But I'm also trying to have a lot more compassion with where I'm coming from with it. So that way it's not a vindictive or, appearingly like I'm mad or anything. I'm going to come from a place of fairness, but I'm going to be very blunt and very real.
Right. And I know you've said that recently too. That was one of my questions. Like you're trying to transition out of kind of the tea somewhat because you're at a different place in your life.
I mean, listen, I did a show last night and I just said, I have a lot of work to do. I am who I am. I say what I say. I feel what I feel, but the same person who does that is the same person that built a relationship with Rihanna, who built the same relationship with Mariah Carey, who built the same relationship with all these people who respect me for my point of view. It's just my delivery sometimes doesn't allow for people to be able to digest what I'm saying. So they miss the point and they get it later from somebody else. So I'm just trying to make sure that the delivery has the same impact, but it's not so sharp that it shuts people's ears down or scares people away. I want to have conversations with, Obama, and there's different people that inspire me that I know, like a Lizzo, who I recently met. I want to be able to interview her, but I don't want her to be afraid of me, And so I think it's just balance, bringing more of a balance, but I'm never going to lose my edge.
How did you start becoming, friendly with these people, like being at New York, being at Paris Fashion Week with Cardi B and Christian Louboutin? Like, when did that start happening, in your job?
My friend married Marc Jacobs, and so I went to Marc's fashion show, and he sat me front row, and I was sitting next to. Hold on one second. Sorry. I was sitting next to. I was sitting next to a woman and a man, and we just started cracking jokes and making Snapchat videos, putting in dog ear filters. And then when I liked them, and I just give me your number, we'll keep in touch. And it happened to be Christian Louboutin. So that was a couple of years ago. Fast forward, I've been trying to get out there to hang out with him. We've been talking over the last 2 years. Last year, I had him make her a pair of shoes, a one of one for her, a bloody shoe. And then this year for her birthday, I knew she'd be in Paris and he was there and I wanted to see him. And so I just flew out there with my team and brought them together for dinner. And so I've always been kind of the guy that brings people together, as much as it seems like I'm on the internet tearing people apart. But yeah, that was a great moment.
And do you have people, like you refer to Lizzo, that are afraid of you, that like you just want to interview and they're just like, and you're like, I'm not coming for you, I just really want to chat with you? Does that happen a lot?
Like, one person who I want to reconcile my relationship with is Megan Thee Stallion, because I was very critical of her and very disappointed in how she handled Black media when she had her album released, that it did come off very personal, and I was very, very nasty to her. And I had her number, and she had my number, and I thought we were building a relationship. I introduced her to Cardi B. They went on and did WAP. I made sure they got on the phone with each other. I made sure they connected, and then she didn't show up during press, and I kind of felt a certain way. And so I handled it in a way that probably wasn't the best, but it was what I felt at the time. And I think that Megan is somebody who, I do want to have a reconciliation with because she is talented. I do want her to succeed, but I also want her to understand my point of view. And when I have those type of moments, there are some people that love it because there's some mega. If I told you the names of people who see my stuff and call me and go, "Oh my God, I'm fucking dying right now. I cannot believe you said XYZ." Probably equally the level of value of people who see my content and say, "I would never talk to him." You know what I mean? So it's one of those things again where I'm trying to show a balance because that edge is who I am. And no matter what I want to do in life, I do want to win an Emmy at some point. I want to be nominated. I want to be in those conversations more so to have the right impact and be the example to people like me that it's all possible. But I also do not want to play the politics completely and get away from who I am as a person.
Do you regret anything else? Like you mentioned Jordyn, maybe like, or just not much.
No, there's not. I don't lose sleep at night over what I've done. I mean, I've done what I've done. I've said what I've said. It was what needed to be said at the time. I've only apologized once. And I said at that time I was never going to apologize again. And so, I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes, but I just hope that I'm more focused on the quality based support system, not the quantity based. If I have 3 million followers, if I get 5% of those people or 0.5% of those people to follow me and buy everything I do and buy into everything I do, I'm good.
You would be just fine. Do you ever look at your life now with all these things going on and just, I mean, could you ever have imagined this? Like, do you have those moments of like being able to take yourself out of your own life and just be like, I know you work all the time and I'm sure you're not done and I'm sure you want to accomplish so much more because that's just the way it is. But I mean, do you ever have a moment of like, wow?
I was in Paris and had a lot of moments in Paris where I was just really, I think I struggle with the idea of fame or celebrity or whatever. I always dumb it down and say, hey, I'm not a celebrity because I really don't believe I am. I think Rihanna's a celebrity. Beyonce's a celebrity. I write about celebrities. I talk about celebrities. I interview celebrities. I'm a public figure that's recognizable. I always dumb that down. But then when I go to Paris and London and people know me all over the world and people know me on planes, just right now on the plane, the flight attendant was like, hey, I know who you are. I follow your entire world. Have you ever thought of doing a story? Flight attendant is like, I have to start to accept and embrace the fact that I worked hard to create visibility in the market and that I am who I am and my career is going where it's going and still be humble, but so very aware that people see me differently than I see myself. And so there's a heightened responsibility. And then there's also a heightened awareness that I have to have when I'm sitting in situations, or if a Cardi B's posting me on her Instagram for 111 million people to see, I have to be very aware that it's just Jason to me, but I don't know how other people see that. And so, yeah, I had moments in Paris where I was just like, yo, I've done some really dope shit and I've done a good job of building my brand so far, even though I still feel like I have a lot more to go. But I'm definitely starting to slow down a little bit and try to enjoy the experiences. I did enjoy the dinner with Christian and Cardi because to see her explain to him how she came up with the bloody shoe and to watch him explain to her his reaction when he heard the bloody shoe was hilarious. And to see Offset sitting there afraid to eat this bougie ass food because, we from the hood. We don't eat that shit. It was just funny, but it was a moment where I could share it with my friends. I can see Cardi's new baby. I can watch her be a little girl again with this fashion icon that she's looked up to for so many years. And to feel that moment and to be able to live in it was worth all the work. And so, yeah, did I ever think I'd be sitting at dinner with Christian Louboutin? No. But at the same time, I'm honored to sit here and be interviewed by somebody that actually gave a shit to like research the work that I've done.